Okay, welcome back for part 2 of the Castle Crusade. So in the previous part we've been fairly passive because we've had not the best start. We've been pretty boxed in with a few fights that I would have preferred not to take. But we do have a couple of portals of glory next to our town. One is quite some distance away, but one is literally right next to our town. And we also have the actual portal of glory itself available in our town. So my goal for this part and for the next week is to try and get our hands on at least one of the two portals of glory, and the actual portal of glory in the town as well. And I think that's pretty much it. The other thing I want to mention is Loynis. I have kind of underestimated the power of summon Earth Elemental, and another thing I had a bit of a misconception about is the portal of glory actually spawns just one stack of 3 angels instead of 3 separate stacks of 1 angel. And that doesn't sound like much in theory, but it does in theory make them a lot easier to exploit, because you can cast things on them, you can absorb their retaliation, and it also means they're less likely to get morale, so that's all around a lot more doable. And I think if Loynis goes all the way back to the Magic Well, he'll then get up to 60 spell points, which is enough to cast Summon Earth Elemental 3 times. I think that would be enough to win the fight against the 3 angels, but we have to get through lots of diamond golems as well, and that's also going to take all of our spell points. So the way I've worked this out is it would take us about 4 days to get to the Magic Well and then back to this, and then we'd have to go all the way back again and then come back again, so it'd be about another 4 days on top of that. So in other words, it's not possible to do it next week, but the week after we could do it, and we wouldn't actually have to go all the way back to this town in order to pull that off. So I'm really tempted by that. But, of course, the other thing I want to do is I want to try and break into the snow zone to the north, and if we can find ourselves a castle town, that would be really good, because we're starting to lag behind. We could definitely do with a second town. Even if we don't get one though, I think this town alone has such a huge amount of potential that it's not necessarily a big deal, but still, worth trying to do if we can. I'm going to go to the Griffin Tower before the end of the week, and I'm just going to pick up 7 griffins, and I'm going to park myself on the water wheel, ready for next week. I'm going to move Orin towards Loynis, so we can pass over a Royal Griffin or 2, and I think we'll end the turn there. So we can see blue re-emerges, takes on some halflings, and kind of draws back. Teal is actually coming through. Let's see what they have. Okay, so they've got lots of Magogs, several Ifrit. Yeah, that could actually be a problem. That's a pretty strong hero, definitely a main. No doubt. They only have the 1 town. But yeah, they're pretty strong. I think we could definitely hold that off, but we'd have to spend pretty much all our resources on creatures, and I'd really prefer to not do that. I'm definitely going to try and go for the capital this turn. They definitely can't reach us yet. So we do get some gold from that, and I think we want to start bringing Adelaide back. He does have the Frost Ring specialty, which is going to be pretty decent for defending. I'm going to send Edric to this, and we're going to start moving towards the Sulphur. I'm going to send Loynis up to Orin, and we're going to pass all of these back, and we're going to take a couple of these. I think 2 should be enough. Loynis is going to go to the west, should be pretty safe from Teal for now. And then with Orin, we're going to go and take on the Battle Dwarves who are guarding the campfire. I'm going to leave most of this stuff behind for Edric to pick up. And I'm going to focus Orin on clearing things out and trying to level up as well. So the dwarves are actually pretty fast on this terrain, but fortunately they do try and stay out of our range, which makes them a little bit easier to exploit. Okay, so they come into range. Let's defend with these, shoot with these. We might be able to finish these off or come pretty close. Okay, not quite able to finish them off, but near enough. Might be able to kite these. Okay, they do go for the bait. I wasn't sure about that because I did move this griffin in range. And I think if I hadn't done that, they'd be more likely to fall for it. But in any case, didn't really make a difference in the end. Just keep moving. Okay, so yeah, they're definitely taking the bait. Okay, so no losses there, which is good. We're going to leave all of this stuff behind. We already know we can go straight to this town, pick up the capital. And at that point we don't need gold too urgently. And then we're going to go on to another fight with lots of battle dwarves. Should be pretty similar. So this time they've formed as just one big stack, which hopefully will make them slightly easier to kite. I'm not sure about this. I think I just have to risk it. I don't want to move any closer because I think that's more likely to draw them in. Let's see what they do. Okay, so I don't think that's worked, and I think we're just going to have to go in. Go for the hit. So I think either way we're pretty likely to just take the one loss. So yeah, we do take one loss there. We can hopefully weaken them a bit. Okay, so now they definitely can't reach us. Do we want to go for another hit? I think we probably don't. We should be able to keep these safe. Yeah, so we do manage to survive that shot. These guys can come in. Should be able to finish them off now. Perfect, so yeah, just the one loss. So Orin doesn't have a spellbook, but I think we're still going to go for basic air magic because he's a good choice for a backup hero, and at some point he will get a spellbook, and that will come in pretty handy. Okay, so blue apparently wasn't too strong because he's decided to go back, and teal is rapidly approaching. That doesn't look too good. However, they don't really move too far, and I think it's pretty likely they're going to go for the Griffin Tower before they go straight for the town, so we should have at least one more turn. I'm going to return to base, and I'm going to upgrade these so I can move Adelaide as far as possible. And then we'll go back to Orin, and let's just see what we can do. So I want to push to the north just to see if we can get into the snow zone. But I'm still going to open this up so we can go and pick up the wood. Okay, 93 hobgoblins, that's not ideal. Okay, no morale, so we should be able to keep our griffins safe. So if I go for this, I think there won't be enough left to do any real damage. Ah. Okay, so that's pretty touch and go. How much did we do last time? 27, so yeah, should be safe. Cool. Okay, so let's keep going to the north. We're going to leave all of this stuff behind just for Edric to pick up. And we can see a monastery there. That's going to be guarded by 9 monks. And I can't see that working. I think the losses we'd take might just be a bit too much. We also want to try and save our gold instead of spending it, so I'm going to hold back on that for now. I'm just going to go for these instead. Hopefully we can avoid losses. Okay, neither stack's in range, so let's just go for these. These guys should be pretty safe, and we can go finish them off. Okay, so let's keep going north. I think I want to send Edric to the east, so I'm actually going to go for this. I'm going to go for the Sulphur because we need it for the Portal of Glory. And then we'll start coming up in this direction. Loynis will go get his spell points back. Adelaide will stay put in base, and... So if we make 4,000 gold per day, that assumes we won't pick up anything else. And that still gives us enough gold to get the Portal of Glory on, I think, day 5 or day 6. So we should still be safe to spend at least 4,000 gold. So let's go for upgraded guardhouse first. Halberdiers do 1 extra damage minimum compared to pikemen. So that's going to be really solid to help defend against these. They can only really cross our walls with the Ifrit, and then there's also the Magogs. So I think just having the towers around to help finish off the Ifrit should be enough. And we'll just end the turn there. Okay, so he does start coming towards us, or she does start coming towards us, then actually turns back before reaching the Griffin Tower. Not really sure what they were thinking there. Because obviously they can tell it's our territory, but they shouldn't have seen our town, I don't think. And even if they did, they can see that they're stronger than it, so... Yeah, I'm kind of surprised she turned back, but obviously that's fine. Okay, so lots of hobgoblins are guarding a spell scroll. I think there's no real way through to the snow biome. I think we can pretty much tell there's going to be no way across. So let's just take on these. They are guarding a scroll, and I'm hoping that means it's going to be a pretty decent spell. Above level 1. Okay, let's see what we get. So it is in fact just stone skin. That's pretty disappointing, but okay. Alright, so Loynis, we're gonna go to this, and Edric, we're just gonna send straight up to this. Keep going towards the Sulphur. And this is where things get tough, because we have to hang on to these 2 Royal Griffins. Diamond Golems can't get morale, so should be possible to kite them and just bait them in with the Earth Elementals. And then we've also got the guardhouse for a few extra pikemen who should work as fodder, help absorb retaliation and stuff like that. It's really risky, but even if this goes wrong, we can just flee, go back to our town, don't really lose anything except 2,500 gold, and then we've got Loynis back in our main town, and he can actually go and take on Caelid, start opening some stuff up. So yeah, it's a calculated risk. I think we can actually do this. Then we're going to go back to this town. We're going to get the upgraded barracks. Doesn't really cost anything we're short on. And Crusaders are going to be a lot more useful than Swordsmen. I'm really tempted by this. Worst case scenario, Caelid comes back. We can't get back in time. Although we should be able to get back next turn. So yeah, absolute worst case scenario, we just need to pick up an extra hero. We've got Tyrus available. He should be able to defend the town. I think that should be fine. Okay, so Caelid actually just keeps going in that direction, so that's good. The bad news is pretty much everyone can reach us. So whenever we do decide to push out, we're going to have a pretty defenseless town left behind. But never mind. Okay, so this is a little bit risky. But like I said, as long as we don't lose all our units, we should keep Loynis safe. And if we do lose all our units, we just have to flee. And we should be able to get him back for 2,500 gold. Okay, so let's start by just waiting with everyone. And then we'll defend. We'll go and block these off as best we can. Okay, so these guys are 5 speed, these guys are also 5. We can probably find a way to make that work. Okay, that is not where I wanted them to spawn. I want to try and keep these guys together. So the idea here is we're going to try and pull them all up towards the top. I might actually go this round without attacking, because we want to just try and bring these all up at the same time. But yeah, I'm just going to defend. I'm going to defend with these as well. Bring these up. And then we can almost keep these safe, but not quite. Although we should get another turn on top of this, which we should survive. Okay, so at this point, if we just go to here, and to here, we might be baiting them in, but I think that's okay. So yeah, we are kind of baiting them, which that is kind of a good thing, but the problem is we want to try and keep at least one stack alive. And the only other way to do that is to just try and surround one of these pikemen. Or just try and walk one away. These guys have reached us. Okay, so this time round we're gonna go for an attack on the 7 stack. And at that point we've absorbed their retaliation, we can start hitting them. Yeah, so I'm pretty confident we can win this. I think the challenge is going to be just keeping the rest of our units alive. Okay, so start of next round, the 3 stack gets to go before the pikeman, but this stack here goes after the pikeman, so I think we can keep them safe. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to move these back. No, I don't think this works. I'm not sure this works, but I think we can keep our griffins alive, so it should be okay. Yeah, these guys are definitely going to go for the pikemen. Can't really keep the pikemen safe, so let's just try and weaken them as much as we can. Yep, so they do go after the pikemen, I think that's fine. Just gotta make sure these guys don't get caught. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're completely safe. So these guys do get to go next, but they're not going to be able to one-shot a Royal Griffin, so we're just going to move up. They do go for the Griffin, they do 9 damage, that's not too bad, let's finish them off. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to send everyone forward. We're going to pull these guys away. And we're just going to leave it to the elementals, they should be able to win. There we go, so yeah, we lose the pikemen, but I think it was still worth picking them up just as bait, and then we just got a 6 stack left, which should be pretty easy to kill. So we move these guys away once again. And at this point we pretty much can't lose. We get away with 2 Royal Griffins. Gonna go for Advanced Logistics. That also takes us up to Knowledge of 7. Which is interesting because we're not going to get back to the Portal of Glory this week. So it's going to be next week either way. And something we could do, just to be completely safe, is... I'm not sure this works. No, it should work. It should work because we can pick up more pikemen next week. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to this. We're going to take on the zombies. We're going to get 1 more knowledge. We're going to go back to the Magic Well once again. And then we're going to come all the way back to the Portal of Glory, and at that point we're going to be able to summon 4 different stacks of Earth Elementals, which should be more than enough. Okay, so we've got a trading post here, which I could go towards. It's not really urgent to get the Portal of Glory immediately. The main thing is just to get it before the end of day 7. Orin should be taking fights, but there's nothing immediate. Don't think we want to go for the monastery. So yeah, I will go for the gold. And I'll just push slightly to the east. We can see the Dragonwing Tabard and a throng of hobgoblins. I think if it's a throng, we probably don't want to do it. Throng might be a bit too much. So if we return to this town, we've got plenty of spare resources. We don't quite have spare sulfur. Unless we go to the trading post. I think that's fine. Only costs 1,000 gold. Sulfur is the only potential problem. Let's just do it. I'm actually pretty tempted to pick up an extra hero. Tyrus is going to be really solid for taking on the Portal of Glory. He's got tactics. That's going to help us quite a lot. So let's think about this. So we've got 3 days left to go. So we're going to get another 12k coming in. Obviously we want to have enough gold left over to pick up some angels. I think with the help of the trading post we can make it work, and then we've also got a treasure chest that Edric can go to. So yeah, I think we can go for Tyrus. And outside of having Tyrus, I am going to try and just hang on to as much gold as I can. We can probably go for this. Just to stop our opponents taking it. And yeah, let's end the turn there. So blue is clearly not using mains. Not going to push through. We can see purple is able to reach us, is coming in our direction. Yeah, I definitely think someone's going to come and attack us. I'm just not exactly sure who. Okay, so Loynis can now reach this. There's no way he's getting back to this. It's going to take 3 turns. So there's no real downside to just going for the zombies and then coming back. Edric's going to go for this. Then we'll go for this. 2,000 gold, that's perfect. Let's go for the wood next. Okay, so we need another 5,000 gold. Get the training ground. Need a spare 3,000. Training ground upgrade is really not urgent, so I would prefer just to pick up a few extra units. Let's go for basic armor, and let's return to base. Okay, so the 2 big things we need to do are save 20,000 gold, get 2 more sulfur. Let's do that now. Okay, so at this point, we will have a few thousand gold left over, which we can then spend on a force to take on the Portal of Glory. I could also trade some more resources. I feel like that's fairly safe. I guess the main question is, which resources can we spare the most of? and it doesn't look to me like there are many great sources of anything lying around. I think if anything it has to be ore. So let's just get an extra 750 gold, just for when we need it. Pick up the spell. And let's see, so we got some more sulfur to the north. Something else to the east. Pack of air elementals is interesting. I'd be more tempted by it if I had tactics, because if they spawn with some storm elementals, we're going to take a few losses to our marksmen. Really don't want that to happen. This is worth doing though. Perfect. Okay, so that's some more sulfur from that, and then we just got some skeleton warriors. Some more sulfur up there. Lots of Cyclops Kings guarding a lot of stuff there, that's obviously not an option. Okay, so we don't really need Adelaide back at the base. I could send her out to scout. She would almost certainly just get taken out though, so I don't really see the upside of that. I think what we want to do instead is... let's just go back to the Mystical Garden. And let's just lurk there for a bit. Then back in this town, we're going to be able to afford the Portal of Glory next turn. And we should have 4,000 gold left over just to spend on extra units. Okay, so here comes purple. I should have actually checked what they have. Unfortunately, they are coming towards Loynis, which could mess up our plans. No, they're really weak. I mean, so are we, but we get to go first. But the problem is, Loynis hasn't visited a mage guild, so he doesn't have magic arrow. But then again, he does have haste, so I don't think we have to worry about Adela. I don't think that has to change our plans. I think we could just go straight for the Portal of Glory, because we're going to have about 45 Earth Elementals, plus all the pikemen for the retail. We don't really need to mess around here, but at the same time, Adela's not a threat. I do want to go for some extra knowledge. And I don't think Loynis is massively needed for any of this stuff. Maybe the Medusa stores, but that's not really going to be a problem, so let's just go for these. Yeah, so we can summon up to 48 Earth Elementals. If we go for the +1 knowledge, another 16 on top of that. Oh crap. Okay, so I misclicked there, but fortunately zombies are extremely weak, so don't have to worry about them. Yeah, that's fine. I'm guessing they've still got about half their health left. Let's have a look. Not quite. A little bit less, but still. Completely safe. The one downside of this is we have to spend 1,000 gold, which I'd rather not do. I'm going to go for the Portal of Glory here. And yeah, I do actually want to save 3,000 gold to pick up an angel at the end. The other thing I can do is I can go back to the trading post pretty much any time. I can't see anything to the east or the south that's going to be worth going for, so we will have some spare resources after this fight. As usual, the Royal Griffins are just going to be thrown forward, but I'm sure we don't need to take any losses. Okay, so we go for all of that, we come back, we can visit that day 7. pack of air elementals, I feel like I should probably do that, but 23 marksman does not give us much room for error, so I'm just gonna skip it. Okay, so Loynis, let's actually think about this. So if Loynis goes to this, day 1 of next week, picks it up, goes back to this, goes all the way across to this, he can definitely do that by day 7. So I think we're okay just to wait here. Go back to Edric, pick this up, go for this as well. And he should really pick up some swordsmen just to stop them being wasted, but we don't really have any spare gold to play with. So that's not going to be an option. Let's go for the wood instead. And I could send Tyrus out just to train up. But no, I think we want to just wait. No point taking any risks with movement. Okay, so Teal is now going to the south. With them all being allied against me, I can't really hope for them to take each other out. Adela definitely shouldn't come for me. She should run off as soon as she sees me, I hope. Okay, so it's day 7, which means it's time to go for the Portal of Glory. So we'll claim that. Don't think we can go for anything else this turn. It doesn't really matter if we go for this, let's just go for it. So we get basic first aid. Doesn't really matter because Edric's not going to be a particularly important hero. If we return to Tyrus, he's got 4,900 to spend. Let's upgrade these. And let's upgrade these. He's not actually got 4,900 to spend because we need to leave 3,000 behind. Let's see how expensive this is. So it's the same cost again. Which means we probably can afford to sell some gems. But not too much else. This might not be enough. Orin's gonna have to go to the trading post. Adelaide can't do anything. And Tyrus just has to go for it. I've got to do it. I think I've pretty much just got to trade everything. Let's see. So this is 10 wood needed. It's not really urgent, so if we have to spend everything, I think that's fine. Okay, so let's spend almost all of this. Let's spend 10 of these. 1 of these, and 3 of these. Does that give us enough? So we can spend 4,700, which is enough to get the marksman. I hope this is enough. And then we can spend 1,000 more, let's go for 2 zealots. Okay, so moment of truth, we do have tactics. We can bait them in. But we don't have a spellbook, and I think that's worth just going for. We can see that we can get some sulfur by taking on lots of zombies. That's very easy to do. So let's just trade 4 more of those. Go back to base, pick up the spellbook. That gets us Bless. Bless is decent on marksman, it's not amazing. Just gotta go for it, I think tactics will save us. Okay, that's a bad sign, but I still believe this can work. Okay, so these guys can actually reach us if we do that. That doesn't work. Move the zealots to the back. These guys just in front. They can reach the griffins. Want to make sure they're in range. I'm not taking any risks. We're going to try this. So their first turn, they're going to come in. They're going to take out the pikemen. And then we just have to see what we can do. Okay, so magic arrow is going to do 20 points of damage. We can do it twice. Don't think that's good enough. We shoot these. Gonna do barely anything. Yeah, so it's definitely worth going for Bless. That's gonna do quite a lot. But not enough to actually kill one. I think we just don't want to involve the griffins this round. Yeah, I'm just gonna defend. They go for those. I think best thing to do now. Well, we could shield. That could work. If we were to go for shield. Doesn't tell me exactly how much that helps. That's one of the things about Horn of the Abyss. It would tell me the exact percentage. I would quite like to know that. If we were to bless these, that would help us a bit. It would certainly do more than magic arrow. So that's pretty obviously worth going for. I think there's a good chance that I just sacrifice the zealots here, because I'd quite like to use the pikemen to absorb the retaliation. At the same time, if we just went straight for the hit, we'd get the kill. They'd only retaliate with 2 of them. And then they can't push through us next round. I'm gonna do this. Yep, so we do survive that. We go for the shot. Should have blessed. At this point, I think I'd probably just go for magic arrow instead. No, we need to bless again because we've only got 1 spell power, so this is definitely the best option. That kills another one. Unfortunately, it will wear off before we can use it again. They go for the griffins. The griffins survive. Let's wait with these. Shoot with these. Shoot with these. They're still alive. They got 30 HP left. Don't think these guys are going to do enough. I don't really care too much if I lose another griffin. So I think I just wait till next round. Yeah, no chance to get the kill. Let's just defend. Lose 2 more griffins. That's fine. Finish them off. Yeah, so some losses there, but we pick up an angel. We return to base. And now, we've got 3 angel growth per week. We're able to go and take another Portal of Glory next week. That's going to take us up to +4 growth in our town. And then we can also go back to the external Portal of Glory on day 1 of next week. Pick up another one from there. And if we can somehow find a way to bring them back, we could also pick up a few extra angels from the second Portal of Glory. And at that point, we've got a really good supply of archangels, or not archangels, but we've got a really good supply of angels. And I think even though we just have the 1 town, it's going to be such a good town that we're going to be able to really go on a bit of a rampage. But for now, that is all we're going to do, so thanks for watching guys, I hope you enjoyed. Do join me in part 3, you can of course check the playlist link in the description. And if part 3 has been uploaded, you can find it there. That's all for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.